Family Dad with Simple Suburban Living, and today I'm going to talk about potatoes. We've had a couple years of growing here in our raised beds with some very good results, and so I thought I would share kind of what we do and just a little bit about potatoes. I know I had a lot of questions. I'd never really grown them before. Even growing up gardening, we never really did too many potatoes. So let's dig into it. I've kind of cleared off all of our, we're ready to harvest in case you're wondering. I've cleared off all the weeds and dead potato plants. And basically what will happen at harvest time is you will end up with, the potato plants will grow after a few months. They will start to wilt off and die off, and then you know you're ready. Usually before that time they will have flowered and gone to seed. I will show you what the potato seeds look like. So this is actually not a potato seed, this is just a potato. These are what's called a tuber, I believe, and these grow off the roots of the plant. These are actual potato seeds. Inside here, like a tomato almost, there are seeds, and you could dry those out probably and plant those, or you could probably just plant this whole thing and that would grow a potato plant. However, it does take a lot longer to grow a potato plant from seeds, so most people start their potatoes from seed potatoes, or what they call seed potatoes, because you're using them kind of like a seed, but they're basically just a potato. So basically potatoes have eyes, right? And each one of these little spots here is an eye. This one's not very pronounced, it's a younger one. And you can cut the potato into usually about 4 pieces. As long as there's an eye on each section of potato, you can plant not the whole potato but sections of the potato. So you can split this into 4 and get 4 potato plants out of it. Now you'll notice on this one that it's green, and basically what happens is these potatoes was sitting in here like this, and the sun hits it. Now that's why they say to hill up your potatoes as they grow, because the potatoes will start to pop out and the sunlight ruins them. So this section right here is not really good for you. You'll see the word poisonous tossed around on the internet. It's not like poisonous. You could eat it and just be fine, I'm sure, but you know, if you ate like 30 pounds of green potatoes, you'd probably die. But anyway, this doesn't mean the whole potato is bad. Just cut that piece off, and that's totally fine. So it didn't wreck everything. It's just a little bit of it is no good. Now, when I first started looking into potatoes, I thought, I'm gonna grow this huge harvest of potatoes. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna look around on the internet and I see all these cool things about potato towers, and they're even selling them at Home Depot now. Potato towers, you know, you plant the potato at the bottom, and then you keep adding more and more and more dirt as the plant gets taller. You keep adding more dirt, and supposedly it's supposed to put out more roots, you know, as the thing goes up, and then you get this big tall, just from one plant you can get 1,000,000 pounds of potatoes and all this kind of stuff. Well, I would challenge you to look around on YouTube or anywhere else for somebody who's actually done a side-by-side comparison and gotten more potatoes doing it that way rather than just planting the potato normally and hilling up a little bit around it. I mean, that's really all you need to do, just to make sure the potatoes don't stick out of the top. So from what I found, that doesn't work at all. Potatoes don't root. Once the plant breaks the ground and sees the sunlight, it turns into a different type of stem. And although it might, you know, as it grows up, if you keep hilling dirt around it, it might put roots out. Those roots are just like supporting roots. They'll never actually grow potatoes on them. But the potatoes only come from the roots that grew up through the dirt initially. And so that's the way I understand it. In fact, M.I. Gardner, if you don't watch his channel, I'll put a link in the description. M.I. Gardner does some really good videos, guides on planting and stuff, and he talks about that in one of his videos, so he kind of solidified what I had found out as well. But the trick with potatoes is to plant your initial seed potato deep. And you can plant that potato 8 inches, maybe even 10 inches deep, and then you get a lot more root area coming up. and then you're going to get more potatoes that way. All of our potato beds here are only 12 inches deep, you know, and that's been plenty for us to grow a lot of potatoes. So in these little 3-foot by 6-foot garden beds, you know, we get 50 pounds of potatoes out of this. And potatoes you can grow early in the year, and you can get several harvests out of one year. You can grow. I mean, we can replant now. In fact, these were ready about a month ago. I could have dug these up and replanted a new crop. I did that last year, and it worked out just fine even here in Michigan. The other thing that's very important with potatoes, obviously, is the soil. And I have a video that I've done on soil mixtures that I'll link to at the top here. But the soil mixture I have works very well with potatoes. In fact, last year I had a little better result, pound per square foot, than I did this year. And I think it was because the soil was a bit looser. I had a little more peat moss in the mixture last year. This year I amended with a lot of compost and did not add any more peat. I think that maybe we ended up with a little bit more soil that compacted a little bit more, and I think that was part of the issue here. But still very good harvest out of this bed. So you want to make sure that your soil is very loose. It has to have good nutrients. As with anything, you need to use a good amount of compost. We don't use any fertilizers here or anything like that. We use compost. Sometimes I added aquaponics water, which adds a lot of nitrogen in it. But you definitely have to make sure that you feed the soil. But cocoa coir or peat moss is definitely helpful. I also added a little sand to the mix here, which you know, keeps it from sticking together quite as well. So, but the looser the soil, the easier the potatoes are going to grow, and the better off you're going to be. In fact, you could actually, I've seen people grow in sawdust, and you have to feed the soil like crazy, or the potato plants like crazy, with fertilizers and stuff if you do that. So we don't do that kind of thing here, but yeah, so the looser the soil, the better. All right, well, that pretty much wraps it up. Just a quick little tidbit on potatoes and kind of what we do and the harvesting and all that kind of good stuff. But real good harvest this year. I'm very happy with it. Like I said, last year we had a little bit higher yield pound per square foot, but this year's been a crazy year up here in Michigan. It's been hot, it's been dry, I've had to water a lot, so that could have played a part in this as well. But you know, year to year, it's always a learning experience. Potatoes are something that has been probably one of our favorite things to grow. The kids love to dig these things out of the ground like little treasures. You get so much food for the area that you grow in. They're very easy. You can get 2 full harvests in a year, even in you know, northern states. And so if you have not grown potatoes, I would give it a shot. Containers work, you know, little raised beds like this. I think this is the best way to go over traditional gardening using the raised beds. But man, what a great thing to grow. We even ended up with a few sweet potatoes, which I don't even remember planting. So I'm not sure. Maybe this came from part of compost or something. But yeah, so you never know what you're going to get. It's pretty cool. But hopefully this gave you guys some information. If you guys have questions, you know, hit me up, let me know, throw it in the comments. Hit thumbs up in the video, guys, if you found this interesting. I find potatoes very interesting. This is a skill that you should all know in case you ever get stuck on Mars. Just remember that, how to grow potatoes. So it could save your life one day. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.